Hi everyone. In this video, I will talk about a common senior Java into scenario where you inherit a legacy service with no automated tester, and now you need to add a new features in this. So I'll explain step how can we do this. So the initial approach and how can we approach this problem. First, we have to understand the existing code, and then we have to identify the high risk areas and add the test incrementally and refactor the code post that and start adding the new feature, and then post that we need to monitor and validate the features. So in the step one, understand the code. First I spent reading the existing code, so in which basically I'll check the main classes or the modules, and what is the main business logic, what are the dependencies and integrations, and then we'll document assumptions and the flaws. So our goal is basically to know what the code does before touching anything. Now second step is identify the high risk areas. So in that we need to focus on basically the code that changes uh, that changes frequently or that is having the bug, because the complex method or classes we have to identify, and then we need to check what is the where is the critical business logic existing. So these areas gets priority for testing and refactoring. Now next step is we need to add the test incrementally. So since there are no tests, we can start adding test very carefully. So as part of that, we need to first do the unit test for the critical paths, and then we need to do the integration test for the important flaws, and post that we need to mock for the external dependencies. We can cover the most risky and reused methods first, and for that tools obviously we'll use now JUnit, Mockito or Spring Boot test we can use. Here what we want to do basically, we want to create a safety net before changing anything. Next step is we need to refactor the code very carefully. So once tests are in place, we can start refactoring small steps at a time. So in this we can start by maybe the renaming the variables, and methods for more clarity, and we can remove or extract the long methods into the smaller ones, and keep the test green after every change. So using this we can avoid large rewrites, and we need to always focus on the incremental improvements. Now as part of the step 5, we can start adding the new features. So for that we can follow the test first approach. So write test for new features before the code implementation. Reuse the refactor code wherever possible, and make sure existing functionality still works. So because this will ensure the safety while adding a new code or the new feature. As part of the step 6, now we need to monitor and validate. So after we have made the changes, we can start monitoring and validation for the application. So in that we need to check basically run full test suite, monitor logs and metrics and staging environment, and we need to test the critical flaws manually if required, because here what we want to achieve, we want to catch any regression very early. So other best practices which we can generally follow, we can always use the feature flag for risky changes, and always keep commits very small and reviewable, and document the changes clearly and avoid touching any unrelated code. So final, if we'll summarize all this, so to add the new features to legacy code where test does not exist. So our strategy to stay safe is always understand the code first, and then identify the high risk areas. You start adding the test case first, and then refactor the code incrementally, very carefully. Add features, and then we can start monitoring and validating the changes. So this approach always ensures this is very safe and incremental improvements, and it reduces the chance of breaking the existing functionality. So that is all for this video, and if you want more such type of videos, you can provide comment, and then I'll keep on adding or creating more such type of videos. Thanks for watching.